Hello and welcome to another cooking show with the Tater Cowgirl Senior, because Tater Cowgirl Junior is still in school and I better let her do her thing. Don't want to disturb her. It's hard enough to do online school. They will be back in their classroom as a freshman high school student next school year, so she's really happy about that. Anyway, I have a different view today. You see, I put my tripod, my new tripod, on the side where the oven is and the refrigerator, so you can look back to the peninsula where we can eat, into the dining room table and my grandma's china hutch. So it looks pretty snazzy, huh? I like my kitchen. Anyway, I like to brag about it too. So what are we going to do today? I found a recipe. Let me just go up a little, then you see my head. I found a recipe. I'm following a cooking channel from a German woman, Monika Fuchs. She's an author, book author. That's how I found her, because I read her book, some of her book. And she was living all over the globe, so very impressive woman, old, I can't say old, in her 80s I think she is. And I saw that recipe and thought, I mean, she's not cooking vegan or whole plant-based, but very close to it, and it sounded like a good recipe I want to try. So today we try it, and I tweaked it whole plant-based. I also low fat, and I tweaked it in a way that I can use some stuff I have in the fridge that needs to go, and some stuff I do not have in the fridge that's in her recipe, and I had to replace it with something, substitute with something. So, you know, be creative. You can do that too. I will link to her channel. The channel is called Terassenkueche, Terrace Kitchen, and I will link to it so that you see the original recipe, but she is cooking in German language, so just to let you know. Anyway, the recipe I'm cooking today is a Croatian bean casserole. Croatian bean casserole. Okie dokie, and let's see where we start. So, the beans I have on hand, she's using all white beans, so I use wax beans and Great Northern. You can use navy beans, cannellini, whatever you have on hand. I use those. And the first step, let me get you a little bit to my cooking thing. Yeah, you see me. So the first thing we do is we will marinate that a little bit with a teaspoon smoked paprika, I follow her recipe as close as I can, but some of the things are different, so spare with me. Let's see, I think put the teaspoon in. Let's use the half teaspoon. Yeah, that works. So we just use that twice. Okay, teaspoon smoked paprika. Then we put in half a teaspoon turmeric, or as they call it in Germany, curcuma. I put some onion powder in because she is using 2 big onions and sliced them. I do not have onions today. I can't believe I'm out of onions, but I am. So what I do is I use half a teaspoon onion. Well, no, not in that one, not in the marinade. Okay, so forget about it. Okay, that's it. And very, very little salt because beans in a can are usually salted. So I use beans in a can today. You can do them fresh. I use here a 1/4 teaspoon salt. That's all I do. Okay, and a little bit of fresh parsley. And I toss it a little. And I have vegan vegetable broth. I can't believe it is bouillon. I put a little bit in there to toss it. And just to get a little marinade for the beans. Okay. That's step 1. Then heat your oven to 350 Fahrenheit to be ready for step 3. And now we go to step 2. So we have that, we put that aside. These are my beans. I put them here. And now I have diced, I have cut vegetables for you. I had a leek in my refrigerator, and as I don't use onion rings, she cuts 2 onions into rings. I cut my leeks in rings, so I have something in my skillet. I use orange, yellow, and red peppers I had to use. She's using red peppers, I think, and a half a green pepper. So you can do your own variation here. And the parsley. And I used parsley from my garden. I didn't have enough grown because I used so much this week. I added a little bit of chives too, which also gives that onion flavor, so that I'm not missing out on that one. And I have a green chili diced, which I put in here. I'm wondering if you could take rotel if you don't have a chili. Probably. I don't know. It depends on how spicy you want it. I want a little chili in there. Okay. That's that. So we heat our skillet. Heat our skillet. She's using olive oil. I will water saute because I am trying to be low fat. And as you know, oil is very concentrated fat, so I try not to use it. Okay, we do a little bit here, just to water saute. This is the bouillon I showed you, a cup of bouillon that I use cooking. And we put our stuff in here. So, and start sauteing. Put a little bit of parsley with it. I keep a little bit of parsley because it looks nice on top when you do that. Okay. So let's saute along here. In the meantime, not that anymore. In the meantime, I show you what you have to prepare. So oven 350 Fahrenheit, and you need a casserole dish. I put a 1/4 teaspoon olive oil in that one, just to make sure it's not baking on. Can you do it without? It depends on you. I have a silicone baking dish, but it's not the right size for that meal, so I will go with the 1/4 teaspoon olive oil in that one. Okay. Let's heat that up. Water saute. You will also need half a cup of breadcrumbs, and I mix them with nutritional yeast and a little bit of vegan cheese. My husband probably will put Parmesan cheese on top of it. I don't, because I I cook whole plant-based and vegan, so you need that for later. And that's about it. Nutritional yeast, it gives you that nutty, cheesy flavor with the breadcrumbs. Here is that bouillon I used, better than bouillon, vegan. Okay, that's about it. So, and you also need a good white, or I'll say works too. That's a white zinnfandel. It should work. You will also need that for later. Later, alligator. Oops. Come over to you that you can see me. I'm trying to get that cork out of the another good wine bottle opener. That one should do it. Yes, ma'am. Okay, I have that white Zinfandel, California wine, I think. The barefoot. Yeah. I like it, and my husband likes it too. So you have to use it for later. Those of you who do not use alcohol, you probably can substitute this broth. It will change the flavor a little. So it's up to you. Put a little bit broth in here for the sauteing process. It looks nice and colorful. And now I show you something what she did, and I can do that too. I have an old emergency coffee machine manual from Germany, which I already had to use this year when we had a major power outage, and I was the only one in the neighborhood who could grind their coffee beans and make coffee. I use it today and I learned it from Monika. It's actually a good idea. We need 2 bay leaves for the recipe. And she ground it up in her electric coffee machine. Bay leaves. And I grind it up in my manual. Works. Doesn't work. Okay, forget about it. It's not working. Was worth a try. So I just crumble them up and put them in, or just put them in, I guess, and have to put them out later on. Just for the flavor, I want to put them in. Okay, a little bit more water and less heat. It's a fast recipe, so I pull a fast one on you. Yeah, Monika attracted me. Monika's story attracted me. She grew up in a little German town, like I did, and was 18 she got out of it. And when I read her story, it's kind of like my mom also. I got out after my divorce, not as a young girl. And it's about loving your home, but wanting to see more than just your little town you grew up in. I lived in London for a while, Went to Paris and immigrated to California, and never regretted it. I found my soulmate in California, as you know. Still live here. My daughter lives here. My son lives in Germany. I have a granddaughter here in California. I have a grandson in Germany. I'm an American citizen now, after 20 years living here, 21 years, yeah. And I like it. I like the agricultural variety here. You get everything here the whole year. I love my bio farmer neighbors. Everything I can get here in the sun. Yeah, it's a beautiful state. Even if you don't agree with certain politicians all the time. So, okay, this is done. So what we do now, we take the beans, put a layer of beans in the casserole. Then put half of the vegetables on top of it. Turn that off. Then put another layer. You know what? I think I put a little pepper first. I like it with the pepper on it. I have wet hands. Okay. I take the bay leaf out. I don't want somebody choking on it. Let's see if I can find the second one. Okay, put the rest of the beans on top of it. Here's the other bay leaf. Alrighty then. And put the vegetables on. We're a small family, you can do this with a lot more vegetables. You know, as I said, you can use Parmesan, it's up to you. Okay, so what we do now, I have, you can use fresh tomatoes. I have diced tomatoes with bell peppers and onions. Again, I try to substitute the missing onions. So I put that on and mix it with a little bit with my other vegetables. Gives it also a little liquid. Okay. Look how nice that looks. See that? Oh, I didn't show you. Here, you gotta tell me. Okay, so I put the tomatoes on top. Tomatoes, and then I take the wine. Don't put too much on it. I would say a quarter to half a cup. That's it. Don't need more. Okay. Ooh, good smelly. Again, you can substitute with broth if you do not want to have your alcohol in it, sorry. Okay, then we use the breadcrumbs, which I mixed with nutritional yeast and a little leftover of vegan cheese. And I use the vegan cheese that has not casein in it. If you go and look, there was almond cheeses, some of them have casein in it. Don't take those, that's a carcinogen. If you take those, you might as well take real cheese because it tastes better. And don't be stingy with this. As again, the nutritional yeast gives you that nutty cheese flavor in it. It's a good illusion. Really helped me to get off the cheese because I'm a big cheese eater. Okay, the rest of the Parmesan goes on top for me. That's how I do it. And the chives, turn in there. Okay, this is it, people. It's not too hard. Huh? What do you think? This goes in the oven at 350 Fahrenheit for about 45 minutes to make it nice and bake it in nice. I will check back and let you know when it's done. See you then. Here bin ich. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm speaking German right now because I just talked German to somebody on the phone. Here I am again, people. And yeah, we just talked about Monika Fuchs on the phone. I talked with my family. And maybe I should tell you a little bit about my feelings. I liked her books, her documentary, you know, showing her way, how she got out in the world and where she lived everywhere, and she didn't want to stay in her little hometown in Germany. I had the same thing, I could bond with her on that point, because after my divorce, I took my daughter, then 11, and we immigrated to the United States. I had worked for an American company, so I was there for several trips, business trips, so I knew where I would be going in California, Silicon Valley, and it's not that I don't love my German. I come from the Allgäu, the very south of Germany, about 2 hours away from Italy, 10 minutes from Austria, 20 minutes from Switzerland. Very picturesque in the Bavarian Alps. And it's not that I hate my home region. I love it. And quite frankly, since I live somewhere else, I just realized how much I love my home region. And it's very hard, even especially during COVID times, not to be able to visit regularly. I haven't seen my family. I haven't seen my son, my grandson, or my stepmother, who just recently broke her hips. I can't go over and just visit her. It's very hard. I try to Skype and phone, but it's not the same, of course. You can't hug them. So yeah, I don't want to talk about it because I start crying. I also love my California home. I love the United States. I was in other states. I really love living in the United States. I'm here since 21 years. I'm a US citizen now, and I don't understand the anti-American feel I get in Germany right now, and not from everybody, but especially from people who have never been in the United States. They say, oh, these idiots, they only eat fast food. And if you have ever been in California, I've never eaten that healthy than here. I mean, you get everything, ripe fruit, all vegetables growing right next to your window. This is the vegetable, the salad bowl of the United States here in Steinbeck country. That's where I live, you know, where Steinbeck lived, Gilroy, California. And the variety of ethnic foods is just mind-blowing, you know. Imagine there are people in one school class in Silicon Valley. We speak 60 languages just in Silicon Valley. Silicon Valley is not bigger than, let's say, Augsburg, from the, you know, more people, but from the area. And or Kempten, where I studied in the Allgäu. I studied languages, and the people here in my daughter's school, they speak 60 languages, and these people all get along, you know. And come on, don't talk trash about the United States if you haven't ever been here. And the stuff I don't like, which is there, that also exists in Germany and all over the world. So, you know, prejudice and narrow-minded speaking, that is everywhere. It's not something that's more often in the United States than it is in Germany or somewhere else. So please, come to the United States with an open mind and see and look. I always compare living, you know, if you fall in the water in Germany, there will be a device thrown at you, like a rescue device, and you can hold on and somebody pulls you out. If you fall into the water in the United States, you gotta learn to paddle. Paddle, paddle, paddle. And if you learn to paddle, you can say, hey, it's actually not that bad. I think I paddle a little farther out. I can't explain it different. It's more freedom here. The freedom is more than I experienced in Germany, and I lived 40 years in Germany, so 40 years. 21 years here now in California, and I love it. I found my soulmate here, which adds to the love, but anyway, that's I wanted to explain. And Monika Fuchs is somebody who probably understands what I'm saying here. I wish I could talk to her at some point and meet her, because that's a lady I would like to have a cup of coffee with and talk about the world. And we used some zinnfandel in her recipe, in the Croatian bean casserole. And that's to you, Monika. Prost! Das für dich, Monika. Thank you for this great recipe. Even if I tweaked it a little bit, it's still yours, okay? And I will give you credit for it. I will link your channel in my cooking channel. Okie dokie, and I think it's done. We can take it out. Oh, hold on. Maybe I should read you a poem I wrote about my hometown. It's in my Swabian dialect, Allgäu dialect. So even North Germans won't understand everything. I say one word for the North Germans. Tenne is a barn, Scheune, a barn. Okay, so if you don't understand that, so you know it. Let me read about it. I have to get my glasses on because I'm. Okay. Okay, it's called Home. Huimat. Huimat. Fort muss ich, Huimat. Lass mich gange. Hier ist Bläre auf und lass mich los. Du wirst mir zu eng, kann nummer schnaufen. Ich hab keinen Platz mehr in deinem Schoß. Mir hilft kein Doktor und kein Geld. Fort muss ich, naus in die Welt. Mehr Sachen als bloß Nachbars Tenne, will lernen, losen, wachsen kennen. Meine Wurzeln können nicht mehr treiben, sonst werde ich noch eine Weile bleiben. Schlaf ruhig, du bleibst mein größter Schatz, hast alles in mein Herzenplatz. Heimat würde ich furchtbar missen. Bist mein Kumpel, wirst wohl wissen, egal an welchem Fleck ich bin, als Allgäuer fehl, leb und stirb ich. Heimat, bist alle in mir drin. Okay, and now we get the food. Oh, that looks good. Look at that. You see it? Okay, I put it here on the oven. And of course I will try it for you. Let me get you here. Here. You see it here? Yeah. And now we... Oh, it smells good too. So you can, this is an item you can make. If you have eat-eaters in your family, they can throw a steak or some fish on the barbie outside, and you can serve it with that. Or you eat it like that with garlic bread. You can put Parmesan on it if you want that. So there's no problem. Okay, now I need a fork. Let's try it. Let's try it. Good. Very good. The zinnfandel gives it a really good taste and the nutritional yeast, so I'm telling you, that's good stuff. You want a last look on it? Okay, after 45 minutes in the oven, 350 Fahrenheit. That's how it looks, and it's good. See you again to the next cooking rodeo at the Tater Cowgirls channel. Until then, peace out.